Welcome to another deep dive, everybody. This time we're looking at ConVivial 2025.
ConVivial.
Yeah, I was in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh, wow. So this is a fan convention.
That's right, a fan convention, and we've got some pretty good sources on it.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So, are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
Okay, so ConVivial 2025, it was held from February 28th to March 2nd at the Fort Magruder Hotel and Conference Center. Yeah, in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Interesting.
And it looks like the big theme this year was mythical creatures.
Mythical creatures, so we're talking like dragons and unicorns and...
Yeah, all that good stuff. I bet the cosplays were amazing.
I was just thinking, I bet the cosplay was off the charts.
Yeah, and speaking of cosplay, they had a pretty impressive guest list this year.
Oh, yeah. Who all did they have?
Well, they had Calibus Ran,
Oh.
the matriarchs of fandoms,
Oh, very cool.
Big L, Djedkare and Una,
Okay.
Rob Ash, and Rex Schuker and family.
Rex Schuker. Now there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him on the list, too.
It's kind of a blast from the past.
Yeah. So, I don't know about you, but out of all those guests, I think the one that really stood out to me was Calibus Ran.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's a legend.
Right. And he was a judge for the blanket fort competition.
Wait a minute. Hold on. A blanket fort competition judged by Calibus Ran.
Yeah. That's what the source material says.
That is amazing. I kind of want to see pictures of that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of blanket forts are we talking about here? Like,
Yeah.
Are these just like simple little cozy things, or are we talking like elaborate,
Yeah, I'm picturing like some serious engineering going on here.
Right, like maybe even incorporating the mythical creatures theme somehow?
Yeah, maybe dragon-shaped blanket fort or something.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously we don't have any pictures of the blanket forts.
Right.
But, I guess we can just use our imaginations.
Yeah, I'm already picturing it.
Okay, so we've talked about the theme, some of the guests, but what about the actual convention itself? Like, what kind of stuff was going on there?
Well, according to the schedule, it looks like they had over 150 hours of programming.
150 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So there must have been something for everyone.
Right. And they had all the usual stuff like the vendor room.
Oh, yeah.
And panels and workshops. And
Then what about fan tables? Did they have those?
yeah, it looks like they had fan tables.
Nice.
A con suite and even a peaceful retreat.
A peaceful retreat. Now, that's something I haven't seen at a convention before.
Yeah, it sounds like they really thought of everything to make attendees feel comfortable and welcome.
Definitely. They really seem to be living up to that made by fans for fans tagline.
Yeah. So let's start with the vendor room.
Okay.
Because, I mean, no convention is complete without a good vendor room. Right?
Absolutely. It's the heart and soul of any convention.
So this one was open from Friday afternoon all the way to Sunday afternoon.
Nice.
Plenty of time to browse and buy all sorts of geeky goodies.
I'm already picturing tables full of Funko Pops and art prints and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. And probably tons of handcrafted jewelry and maybe even some custom-made cosplay accessories.
Ooh.
So after we've hit the vendor room, where do we go next?
Well, I'm always drawn to the panels and workshops.
Me too. It's always fascinating to hear from experts and enthusiasts and just kind of get a deeper dive into different aspects of fandom.
Exactly. And this convention had some really interesting sounding panels. The matriarchs of fandoms were hosting a few, and there was even a panel with Calibus Ran, Big L, and Djedkare together.
Oh, wow. That must have been a popular one.
I bet it was standing room only.
So this sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But we also mentioned fan tables, a con suite, and a peaceful retreat. What can you tell us about those?
Well, the fan tables sound like a great way to connect with other fans who share your interests.
Yeah, you can find groups dedicated to specific fandoms or even just general interest groups.
Right. And it's a good opportunity to meet new people and learn about new things.
The con suite is basically a place to relax and recharge.
Yeah, they usually have snacks and drinks and sometimes even board games or video games set up.
Yeah, and it's a good place to just kind of hang out and chat with other attendees.
Now, the peaceful retreat, that's a new one for me. What was that all about?
Yeah, it sounds like it was a quiet space for people who needed a break from the hustle and bustle of the convention.
Makes sense. I can see how that would be helpful, especially for introverts or people who are sensitive to crowds.
Yeah, so overall, it sounds like ConVivial 2025 really had something for everyone.
It does, and I'm impressed by how much thought they put into creating a welcoming and inclusive environment.
Yeah, They really seem to have gone above and beyond to make sure that everyone felt comfortable and had a good time.
Which again goes back to that whole made by fans for fans philosophy.
Exactly.
So we've talked about the schedule and the guests and the different areas of the convention, but I'm curious to know more about the overall vibe. Like, what was it actually like to be there?
Yeah, let's dig into that.
I want to get a sense of the atmosphere and the energy of the event.
Okay. So from what I've gathered from the sources, it sounded like the atmosphere was incredibly welcoming and inclusive.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah, and there was a real sense of community.
Like, people were really there to connect with each other and share their love of fandom.
Exactly. And it wasn't just limited to the scheduled events either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were impromptu gatherings in the con suite late-night sing-alongs and even a spontaneous dance party in the lobby.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. It really paints a picture of a convention that's about more than just attending panels and buying merchandise.
Right. It's about being part of a vibrant and passionate community.
And creating lasting memories.
Exactly. So if we were to step back and look at the bigger picture, what does ConVivial 2025 tell us about the state of fandom today?
That's a good question. What do you think?
Well, I think it highlights the growing diversity and inclusivity within fandom culture.
I see what you mean.
The convention's focus on music and cosplay, along with its diverse guest list, suggests a willingness to embrace a wider range of interests and expressions of fandom.
It seems like fandom is becoming less about fitting into a specific mold and more about celebrating individual passions and finding your tribe regardless of what those passions may be.
Precisely. And ConVivial seems to be at the forefront of that movement.
Creating a space where fans from all walks of life can come together and celebrate the things they love.
Exactly. It's inspiring to see a convention so dedicated to fostering that sense of community and belonging.
It is. And I think it's something that resonates with a lot of people, especially in a world that can often feel divided and isolating.
Not sure.
So what does all of this mean for our listener? Why should they care about ConVivial 2025, even if they couldn't attend?
Well, even if you weren't physically present at the convention, I think there's value in understanding what ConVivial represents.
Like what?
It's a reminder that there's a whole world of fandom out there filled with passionate people who are eager to connect and share their love for all things geeky.
And it shows that fandom is constantly evolving, embracing new forms of expression and creating spaces where everyone can feel welcome and accepted.
Exactly. It's a reminder that there's always something new to discover in the world of fandom, and that there's a place for everyone regardless of their interests or background.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
I'm starting to wish I had been there myself.
Me too. But even though we weren't physically present at ConVivial, we've still managed to uncover some fascinating insights about the convention and what it represents.
We have. And we've done it through the magic of research and a little bit of imagination.
Speaking of imagination, I'm curious to know what our listeners' biggest takeaway from this deep dive has been so far. What stood out to you the most?
I'm wondering the same thing. What sparked your curiosity? Was it the impressive guest list, the unique focus on music, the emphasis on community, or something else entirely?
Whatever it was, we hope this deep dive has given you a taste of the magic and excitement that is ConVivial. And who knows, maybe this will inspire you to attend next year's convention and experience it all firsthand.
That would be amazing. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's wrap up our discussion of this year's event. Any final thoughts?
I think we've covered a lot of ground, from the practical details to the broader implications of ConVivial. But one thing that keeps coming back to me is the power of passion.
Oh, absolutely. ConVivial is a testament to the passion that fans have for their chosen fandoms.
Right. And it's not just about the passion for a particular book, movie, or TV show.
Yeah.
It's about the passion for connecting with others who share that love, for creating something new and exciting, and for celebrating the things that make us feel alive.
That's beautifully said. It really captures the essence of what ConVivial is all about.
And it's a reminder that passion is a powerful force. It can bring people together, inspire creativity, and make the world a more vibrant and joyful place.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. We hope you've enjoyed this journey into the heart of ConVivial 2025.
If our deep dive has sparked your curiosity about fandom conventions or just the power of shared passions, we encourage you to explore further.
There's a whole world of fascinating communities and experiences out there waiting to be discovered.
And who knows? Maybe we'll see you at ConVivial next year, ready to experience the magic firsthand.
Until then, may your fandom adventures be filled with joy, connection, and a healthy dose of geeky fun.
See you next time.
Okay, so we've talked about the schedule and all the different things to do at ConVivial.
Right.
But I'm still curious what it was actually like to be there.
Yeah, what was the vibe?
Yeah, like, was it really as welcoming and inclusive as the source material makes it sound?
That's what I want to know.
Okay, so from what I've read, it seems like the atmosphere was incredibly positive. People really seemed to be enjoying themselves.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, and there was a real sense of community.
Yeah.
Like everyone was just happy to be there and connect with other fans.
I love that.
Yeah, and it wasn't just limited to the scheduled events either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the source material mentions impromptu gatherings in the con suite, late night sing-alongs,
Right.
and even a spontaneous dance party in the lobby.
Wow, that sounds like a blast.
It does. It really gives you a sense of the energy of the convention.
Yeah, it sounds like it was more than just a convention. It was like a giant party.
Yeah, a party for fans by fans.
Exactly. And that's what I love about these kinds of events. It's not just about attending panels or buying merchandise.
Right.
It's about being part of a community.
Yeah, and sharing your passion with others.
So if we were to take a step back and look at the bigger picture,
Okay.
what do you think Convivial 2025 tells us about the state of fandom today?
That's a good question. I think it shows that fandom is more diverse and inclusive than ever before.
Yeah, I agree.
Look at the guest list at ConVivial.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mix of people from all different backgrounds and interests.
Right. And the programming was just as diverse.
Exactly. There was something for everyone.
From music to cosplay to gaming.
Yeah, it seems like fandom is no longer about fitting into a specific mold.
Right.
It's about celebrating what you love and finding people who share your passions.
Exactly. And Convivial seems to be a great example of that.
Yeah. It's a place where people can come together and just be themselves.
And geek out over the things they love.
So why should our listener care about all of this?
Good question.
Like, even if they weren't able to attend Convivial 2025,
Right.
what can they take away from this deep dive?
Well, I think it's a reminder that fandom is a powerful force. It can bring people together,
Yeah.
create lasting friendships, and inspire amazing creativity.
I think that's a great takeaway.
And even if you weren't at Convivial, you can still experience that sense of community online.
That's true.
There are so many online communities dedicated to different fandoms.
Yeah, you can find people who share your interests no matter where you are in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to reach out and connect with other fans.
Yeah, you never know what kind of amazing friendships you might forge.
Or what kind of creative collaborations you might spark.
Okay, so we've talked about the vibe of Convivial.
Right.
And what it tells us about the state of fandom. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one more question for you.
Okay, shoot.
What stood out to you the most about Convivial 2025?
That's a tough one. There were so many cool things about this convention.
Yeah.
But I think what impressed me the most was the sense of community.
Yeah.
It really felt like everyone was there to support each other and celebrate their shared love of fandom.
It's amazing how a convention can bring so many people together.
It is. And I think that's something worth celebrating.
Agreed. Okay, so I think that's a good place to wrap up our discussion of the vibe and community at Convivial 2025.
Sounds good to me.
But before we move on to the next part of their deep dive,
Yeah.
I have one burning question.
Okay, what is it?
The source material doesn't mention anything about next year's convention.
Oh yeah, Convivial 2026.
Right.
Wonder what the theme will be.
Me too.
Oh.
Any guesses? I don't know about you, but I'm kind of getting major FOMO just hearing about Convivial 2025.
Yeah, me too. All those panels and workshops and the blanket fort competition. It sounds amazing.
And that cosplay masquerade ball. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, it sounds like they really went all out with the mythical creatures theme.
So I have a question.
Okay.
The source material doesn't say anything about next year's convention. Convivial 2026?
You're right, it doesn't.
So I'm curious, what do you think the theme will be?
Oh, that's a fun question. Let's see. Well, they did mythical creatures this year.
Right.
So maybe they'll stick with something fantastical.
Like what?
Maybe enchanted forests?
Oh, I like that.
Or hidden kingdoms?
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
Or maybe they'll go in a completely different direction.
Yeah, like what?
Steampunk.
That would be cool. All those gears and gadgets.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll do something with superheroes and villains.
Ooh, a comic book theme.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So many possibilities.
I know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm already excited for Convivial 2026.
Me too. And I think it's safe to say that Convivial is a convention that's worth keeping an eye on.
Definitely, it seems like they're really pushing the boundaries of what a fan convention can be.
And they're doing a great job of creating a welcoming and inclusive environment for everyone.
Yeah. Convivial is a testament to the power of fandom and the incredible things that can happen when people come together to celebrate the things they love.
Well said. I couldn't agree more.
So that's ConVivial 2025, a fan convention that's truly made by fans for fans.
And if you're looking for a fun and welcoming convention experience,
Be sure to check out ConVivial next year.
you won't regret it.
And that's it for this week's Deep Dive.
We hope you enjoyed it.
And learned something new about the amazing world of fandom.
And as always,
May your fandom adventures be filled with joy
connections.
and a healthy dose of geeky fun.